it over here.
Sure.
Okay. Is it going?
Yep.
All right, thank you, sir, for your help.
You're welcome.
All right. Start that up again. And today is Valentine's Day, 14th February 2026.
Yeah.
We're going to try something different today. We're going to record what we're talking about, so those who can't come can watch it later online somewhere. Haven't figured out where that's going to be yet. A couple things I was going to talk about first is last month Gina Bergman did a presentation on the Planner, which is a tool the church has given us consultants to work with the members. You can, if you can get their okay with it, then you can access their tree on Family Search, and you can study it and see what you can help them with. And I've thought about that a lot over the last month, and I realized that a lot of our people, Grandma's already done all the work. They say, I can't do any more. Well, you could, when they tell you that, you can say, well, the church has given us this tool. If you'll authorize it, I can go in and study your tree, and maybe I can find some stuff that you can work on. So that would be another way to get to help the people. And another thing, another possibility is to offer a presentation for like a family home evening for the youth. Families have youth that are either young men, young women age, or getting close to the time when they can be in the temple, and we can do a presentation. Gina's been working on that also. Another thing I wanted to talk about was I'm on the mailing list for the church's Temple and Family History Consultant newsletter, and this is the latest one I got. And one of the first things it talks about is, and my screen's not big enough. Oops. Well, that's just why I wanted to make it bigger. It's bigger at home. It is a way using the Family Search AI Research Assistant. So I tried it. You come down here and click on More. Let's see if I can get it over. Yeah, Learn More. That'll bring you to this page, and it explains how it works. What it does is it analyzes, once you're signed in, it analyzes your tree, from you on out, and it will look for records that have people included in the record, but you are not included in Family Search, and you can go check those out and see if it's a legitimate one, and then you might have more people you can add to Family Search tree. I did that when I got this a few weeks ago, and I'll show you how you get to it. You have to be on Family Search and sign in as yourself, and you got to be on the home page for Family Search. And I guess this is, no, it's not. I got this bookmarked for searching for somebody. So you go to this thing here, and that brings you to the home page. Well, it didn't. Oh, there goes my presentation. Oh, talk about Ruth Tech. Well, you got to be on the home page for Family Search and signed in as yourself. No, I can't show you what it looks like unless it's further down, and it's not. Well, there goes that first part. Anyhow, it worked for me. Try it out, and it's something else that can help you as you're searching for the person you're helping. See if there's some stuff in their tree that they don't know about, and you can amaze them that you're so smart. Another thing is, let's go back to that email. Further down, it talks about sharing Roots Tech with your ward. There's a poster you can download, but the thing I used was this Learn More. And that opens up this thing here, talking about watch parties and ideas that we can involve other people in the ward that might want to join us and have a Roots Tech watch party. I won't go into too much detail on it, but if you're interested, let me know and I can give you a link to all this. Now I lost my train of thought again. Okay, that's good enough. So today, last month, like I said, Gina did a presentation on the planner, and I really feel that it can help us to get our board members to invite us to help them in ways they didn't realize we could. So anyhow, I volunteered to do a presentation on Ancestry this month. And I would like each of us had strengths, and we could train each other. And I'm going to try to train you if you don't know anything about Ancestry, or maybe if you do, I might be able to throw one thing out that you didn't know. So shortly after I joined the church, I started doing genealogy research. That's 50 years ago. And things went super slow for many, many years because there was no computer, there was no family search, no internet. But in 2014, the church had negotiated arrangements with some of the genealogy programs to give us members free subscriptions. And the one that really made a difference for me was Ancestry. And since 2014, which is 12 years now, I've been using Ancestry almost every day, even Sundays. It's approved for use on Sunday, on the Sabbath. And as a sidelight, I figured since they were giving me this, which if you get this level of Ancestry on your own, it's about $40 a month, probably a little cheaper if you pay by the year. So that's $480 a year. So I figured I could afford to get newspapers.com, which is also an Ancestry program, and I pay for that myself, and it's helped me quite a bit in my research. Since we finished our mission in Taiwan and came here to Houston, I consider this my retirement job. I research every morning, and we go to the temple as often as we can to do the work for the people. And the reason I really like genealogy, Ancestry, is for various reasons. Family search is great, and it's getting better all the time. But Ancestry is like genealogy for dummies. They've automated so much of it. In family search, you have to do each thing one step at a time. They haven't automated it very much, but Ancestry has, and it makes it fun. It's kind of like a detective game, a computer detective game, and you can get immersed in it very easily and have a lot of fun at it. What I have found is it is primarily for use in the United States, some of Europe, and other places, but I've tried to help people with Spanish genealogy, and I got nowhere. So, enough of that. I thought I would start by showing you what, let's get out of here, what it's like and what some of the things are. And if you already know some of this, just take a break. But I'm going to explain what some of these things are. When I start up Ancestry, this is the home page. And I like this thing here because I go to last updated. And it will list the last people that I've worked on, done anything with them. And I think that's the last guy I was still working on. So I click on that, and it'll open his page, and I can start up where I left off. And I'll explain what some of the functions are. Why isn't that? There it goes. First of all, I want to start out on facts. This lists him and what family I have in my family tree on him, and what there is. And there's not much here. Here, the next thing is hints, and that's one thing that Ancestry is really good at. They have a really good search engine and making sources available easily for you. Like I added this picture of him, and let's see, we can find something else to add. Well, first, what I normally do when I start using it, I will go up here to this. This is a family search connection. So you can talk to and copy over stuff from Ancestry to Family Search, and you can copy the other way, bring in. And I think that's what I did here. I brought him in from Family Search. That's why there's no records. I haven't done anything with him yet. If he's not connected to Family Search, then this will just be a round circle. It won't be an oval. But since he is connected, it's an oval. You click on that, and I want to see him on Family Search. I don't have to go to Family Search, type his number in. I just click on this, and it automatically opens it for me. So, I got to sign in. So here's David Nickel in Family Search. And he already has 18 sources. So what I'll typically do when I'm working this way, I'll right-click, open in another tab, and then I can look to see what sources he already has, what I need to work on, and then come back over to him on Ancestry and start doing that. But I've already looked this morning at he and his wife, Anna Hebert. And by the way, the Hebert family, that's how I got started on this branch again, was when I saw that AI business I was talking about earlier, and it said there was a daughter, and that got me started, and I've been working on this for maybe a week or two, so it was a very useful tip. And I just explained myself into a hole again. Okay, I looked at Anna and David, and they're both pretty good, but I don't have any of the kids. So I can go to that link again, add relatives from Family Search. Now there's his father, and I think there's 7 kids, which I didn't have. So I say, I want to bring in Pearl. So I click on Pearl, I click on Continue, and there's Pearl, and that's what I want, so I say OK. Oops, and now there's Pearl. What I normally will do is double check to make sure that this is accurate, that she actually is their daughter, before I bring her in, but I did that for your benefit today. Then I thought I would explain a few more things. Let's go back to this. Ordinances details, it says he's done. I don't normally use that. This one is for comparing the two, what they have back and forth. We already done this to open him up in Family Search, add relatives, and if you have made a mistake and you don't want him, he's got the wrong person, you can just click on that and it will disconnect him from whoever he's already disconnected to. Ideas is a new thing they've come up with, and I haven't found it all that useful, but I haven't really looked at it very much, so I'm going to skip it. Search is when you're on the facts, you can click on search, and it will, well, I'll just do it. This button and this button are the same. This just opens up beyond the hints. The hints are the most likely records, and I guess I didn't click it right. It takes a second or two for it to start up. And here's an option. Maybe this is him, maybe it's not. Quite often it's not. But it looks like it is him. And if you you're stumped, you can go to him. And this is somebody else's. This is her page. And you can see what sources they have. And you might get a clue of how to get moving past where you're stopped at. So we'll go back and go back again. Well, I'm not, this is not how I do it at home, so I messed up a little here. One more.
Did you get it?
Now we're back to his page. Okay, so that was search. And like I said, you have very good hints from Ancestry, very likely. What?
What happened?
Oh, your phone.
Gee.
Brother Bergman was helping me, and he forgot to take his phone with him. And so the search function goes beyond the hints that they give you. And I'll just show you what the hints look like. There's a whole bunch of them. And you just click on one, and it opens up the sidebar, and I click on that, and then I can look it over, and if I like what I see, I click yes, and then it will open up the side-by-side panel. And here's David Nickel. This is my tree. This is Family Search on the record. And I compare what's here and what's here, and if I like it, if I don't like this, then I uncheck it. If there's something that isn't checked, and here's his wife, then I can check it. This wasn't a good example, but that's how it works. And on things like, where did I write that down? On like a census record where there's mom and dad, maybe grandma and the kids, you don't have to bring them in one at a time. You'll have all the people on that record listed here. You can do it all at one time, and each one can be individually tailorized in what you want to bring in and what you don't. So that is a big improvement over the way we do it in Family Search. Oh, let's back out of here. And get that out of here. Okay. So now tools. There's a bunch of tools. I don't use too many of them very often. Merge with duplicates. If I make a mistake and I realize that I have two of the same person, I can click on that. And check for errors. You got to pay extra for those functions. Merge is the main one I use out of this batch. Edit. Okay, a quick edit is whoever you're on, and here's his name. If I knew his middle name, I could say Anthony. I could type in Anthony. In fact, just this morning they had misspelled Rudnerweed. They said they had a C instead of an R, so I fixed that. So that's what editing the person is all about. If you have a living person, it will not link up with Family Search because it has to be a dead person, even if you know they're alive. So I will come in here and I'll click deceased rather than living, back out, hit F5 to refresh, and then I can compare him to the guy who's already in Family Search. And when I'm done, I'll come back here again and I'll uncheck living, deceased, and go back to living. All right, how do I get out of this? There's the X. Okay, what else is in edit? Edit relationships. Sometimes he'll be tied to the wrong parent, and you can like if this is the wrong mother and there's somebody there, you just click that, and you could delete that person and then type in his name, the proper person, and add the parents and the spouse for that matter. And then delete the person. If you don't want the person, you made a mistake, sometimes I'll experiment. I'll just put the name in and search for it, and if it doesn't work out, you just click delete, and that will delete David Nickel. If you were here, you could ask me questions, but that's about all I know what to do with right now. Gallery is pictures. That picture will be listed here. And any stories or anything else is similar to what's in Family Search. So I think I'll stop right there with the presentation on that. I was looking for ways for us to be more useful with the ward, and I read the handbook and said one of the things we should be working with is the people who are not endowed, to get them excited about it and get them to the temple. So I got a printout of adult members that are not endowed, and I looked at it, and I don't see a whole lot of potential here for any of them, but if you're interested, you can look at it over, and maybe you say, oh, this guy here, Levi Hill, I could work with him. Let me know. And I'm going to stop the recording at this point because we're going to talk about some other things that don't matter to you. So how do I stop it now? There ought to be a stop button here somewhere, but I don't see one, so I'll just shut it off.